All right, we're just gonna start the timer here. If there's music, there's music. If there's not, well, we're just gonna have to go. Start now. Start the timer now. I accidentally pressed start before I can the countdown, so you can start it now. Okay. So anyway, Ape Out, a wonderful game made by Gabe Cazillo, Bennett Foddy. You're an ape. You're trying to escape various different scenarios. Yeah, I don't know why there's no music here. Okay, that's strange. I've literally never had this happen before. But what we have here in this first section is you're in the laboratory. It's called Subject 14, or Subject 4 actually. What am I saying? Subject 4, where they're kind of like running experiments on apes, and so you want to escape before they run experiments on you. Because if you saw at the beginning of the level, there's actually different apes in cages, and they were like dead, meaning that they were like doing experiments on them. And so that's the story behind this first section. And we get introduced to two new kinds of enemies. First off, these standard riflemen, which is just these white guys right here. And then there's these shotgun enemies with the blue vests. They are larger and a bit harder to push. However, overall, they're not really much of a threat unless you're pretty far away from them, in which case it will probably shoot you before you're able to push them. And then we also get introduced to these bomb enemies. The bomb enemies, what they do is essentially they just explode on impact a lot of the time. And when that happens, anything that's within their radius of explosion will also just die right then and there, including you. When you get into an explosion in this game, it will actually just kill you in one hit. Any explosion in this game will kill you in one hit, as opposed to, you know, the standard guns, which will kill you in 3 hits. That's the main mechanic behind it. It's just 3 hit points. However, all the explosions in this game do 10 damage instead of 1, and so they will all kill you in 1 hit. I think I know why the music actually isn't playing right now. I can fix it between levels, but I can't fix it right now because we're in the middle of a level. So yeah, that's nice. I think it's just too low. I think it's just because I turned down the volume because it was literally like blaring, like the bass was blaring in my ear. But I think that came at a price. I think I put it a bit too low to the point where like it can barely be heard. But with that, it's the end of side A. Each album has a side A and a side B. And you probably see me doing this thing in the middle of these hallway transitions, where I actually am holding upright on my right joystick in order to angle the ape a specific way. When you walk towards a wall in Ape Out, the wall actually you will actually be pushed away from the wall. And if you walk at the wall at a specific angle, you'll be pushed away and also forward. And with that, you get a lot of momentum forward, a lot of boost of speed forward during these hallway transitions that are the perfect length in order for you to do that. As you can see right here, it's significantly faster. All you have to do is hold the right stick at a 45-degree angle upright, and then boom, it's that easy. However, there's this in the dark section here, and during this in the dark section, the enemies will actually react faster to your to your presence. As you can see right there, I got shot twice. Ooh, oh. Okay, I honestly thought that I was gonna die there. I'm surprised I didn't. There are certain hard-coded obstacles in this game. This is one of them. And during these in the dark sections, you're always going to be forced upwards or downwards during level 5 and 6, as opposed to level 7, which you can just go straight through. And then a bit of a photosensitivity warning right here. There you go. It was a bit late, but you know, better late than never. And so right here, we're out of this in the dark section where the enemies will now behave normally. There are certain enemies that don't react faster in the dark that we're going to see later as we go into deeper levels into the game. And yeah, that's the end of Album 1. That's the end of 1.7. We're going to go to 1.8, which is the last level of Album 1. And during these sections where I'm opening these doors, you can see me doing a specific trick where I am letting go of... Oh my god, a banana. I'll explain the banana in a bit. Where I'm letting go of the door and then re-grabbing it in order to open it faster. The way that works is that these doors go off audio triggers. And the audio triggers will only open... The door will only open after 4 ticks. And so these ticks, the 4th tick will always be delayed, and the way to get rid of that delay is by letting go of the door and re-grabbing it like that. Also, I got a banana. The banana, essentially what it is that you are able to just bring that banana to the end of the level if you have not died in the side A. If you haven't died in side A, the banana will be anywhere in a random position inside B, and so you can just bring that with you to the end of the level. We're losing time to menuing because I think I fixed the no music problem. I thought that 3, because it was really, really loud, like the bass was blaring in my eardrums, and so I was like, we're gonna bring that down. There we go, music. Okay, wonderful. Let it be known that 3 is way too soft. And right here, we are in the high rise. It's okay, the music in this level is better anyway. We are in the high rise, and what high rise is a series of 30 levels where you get introduced to many different enemies. You get introduced to 3 new enemies here, as a matter of fact. The first enemy are the SWAT members. The SWAT guys will actually just come out of the windows and zipline into the building. The other new enemies are the Melvins, which are the most annoying enemy in this game. First off, here's a good example of the SWAT guys right here. They're not much of a threat, especially if they come in groups. Even if they don't come in groups, their aim is absolutely horrible most of the time. And so the Melvins are these little green-haired guys. I'm going to try and see if there's a good example of them at some point. Right here. And I killed them. Okay. So essentially what the green-haired guys, Melvins, do is that they will walk forward, and when you run away from them, they will run towards you. And when you run towards them, they will run away from you, which is annoying because when you run away from them, they run towards you and then shoot you in the back. They have remarkable aim for some reason. A lot of the time, it's absolutely ridiculous, especially when you're off screen. It's ironic how some of the enemy aim works in this game, because a lot of time you're like right up close to them and you can just keep shooting. They'll just keep shooting at you and they'll just keep missing. And then other times they're on the other side of the screen. They're off screen at this point, and then they'll shoot you like with sniper level abilities. Also, I'm surprised that it took that long for me to actually kill an enemy in this game. The music won't start in a level until you kill an enemy. But with that is 2.3. We're now going to 2.4. I didn't mention a specific glitch that we didn't do at the beginning of the level. But I always like to mention it because it's pretty important in the speedrun. Essentially, by holding down right trigger before you enter the level, there's a small little section before the loading screen that your inputs are being read, and so you can actually push the first guy out of the building before the first cutscene begins. I'm being very careful right now because we're on our last hit. And so if we get hit one more time, we're gonna die. We're gonna have to restart this entire section. But thankfully, that is not an issue. Thankfully, it is not an issue. So it's fine. That's the end of side A. For album 2, we're going to go to album 3, side B. Or album 2, side B. And we get introduced to a new enemy called the snipers. The snipers are so slow that you can run up to them as they're charging up their shots and then kill them before they shoot you. They're the slowest enemy in this game. It is absolutely ridiculous how slow their aim is. Sometimes their aim is actually kind of fast, but it's very rare in those cases. I saw that Melvin trying to grab me and shoot me in the back. This is a good example of a Melvin right here. Oh, that was very close. That's actually one of the easiest ways to die in this game, where if you push a bomb guy into a wall, before you push a bomb guy into a wall and you're too close to the bomb guy, the explosion will just kill you because you're within radius of it. Very nice attention to detail. If you see the police cars at the bottom, so many people trying to grab an angry ape. Let's see here. Okay. The fact that I got shot twice right there is not very pleasing, but we're gonna try and mend it anyway. We're gonna try and mend the situation and work with the best of our abilities. All we need to do is get through this one floor, floor 7, and then we're home free. We get our health regenerated. Ooh, my goodness, the RNG in this section is awful. We also got introduced to the, oh my goodness. Yeah, you see, that's a good example of why the enemies sometimes have ridiculously good aim, and now we have to do this section all over again, unfortunately. This concept also gets introduced to dead ends. The dead ends in this section, in this area, are very annoying. They add dead ends in this level because they thought it made more sense for like an office space. They're like if you walk into a meeting room and you're not supposed to be there, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong room, and then you walk back out. But in a speedrun, it's very annoying because a lot of times you just end up, really just end up losing time because you need to read a level as best as you can, but if you read it badly and then go to a dead end, there's nothing there, and you have to walk all the way back. Especially when you walk all the way to the end of the area and you think that you're gonna get to the end of the level, and then you get to that end. However, there are certain things that you can do to mend that. For example, anytime you walk into a checkerboard room, oh my goodness, what is this? Every time you walk into a checkerboard room, that is a dead end, and anytime you walk into a room with stripes on it, you can just walk straight through it. That will always lead to the end of the level. And so there are certain signs, certain visual cues that we have in order to mend some of this stuff. Let's hope we don't get shot one more time, because that Melvin had impeccable aim. There we go, perfect. Alright, we did skip both sections in this album where the game can just unexpectedly crash. That is between 2.3 and 2.4, and also 2.5 and 2.6. Those two sections right there. Or 2.6 and 2.7, for whatever reason, the game will just spontaneously crash there sometimes, and thankfully those did not happen. Now we're on the last section. We also get to go to the lobby. The lobby is a wide open space. It is no one's best friend, and so you want to be able to just stick to the top or bottom of the map in order to mend, in order to have a bit more cover and have it be a bit easier to push enemies into the walls that are underneath you. We're going to get introduced to a lot more wide open spaces in albums 3 and 4, and so we're going to go into some riskier strats here, riskier sections. Stay hydrated, folks. All right. Album 3. First you were in a laboratory, then you were in a high-rise, and now you're in a military base because the government just cares so much about this ape that we had to enclose it in a military base, apparently. So, Album 3, the game really likes, oh my goodness, and right off the bat we get hit with fire. That's 1 hit point down. 2 more to go. the game really likes to give you enemies in packs. Right in here, these first 3 enemies are not good examples. But right here, yep, you have a lot of enemies in packs. So there's a good thing and a bad. There's a downside and an upside to this. The downside is that if you miss an enemy, chances are you miss multiple enemies, and so they can all just kind of shoot you at once if you're not careful. The upside is that more often than not, when you push one enemy, you kind of just end up killing the rest of the enemies along with it. Because if you push, especially if at the front of the pack there is one of those shotgun guys, because the shotgun guys weigh more than the standard riflemen, and so those men just all immediately die as the shotgun enemy just goes through them, like so, like that. However, if you shoot the shotgun enemy, won't die unless you push it into another enemy that's the same weight, or you just push it straight into a wall. Oh, what is here? Oh dear. Okay, so I was trying actually to not kill any enemies in order to see how long I could go without the music starting. However, as you saw there, you don't need to be the reason that an enemy died in order for the music to start. As long as if an enemy gets killed by another enemy, the music will also begin. So yeah, that is one thing. And right here in album 3-3, we get introduced to another really nice wide open space, and that is a good example of the enemies just having really poor aim. I was opening a door, I wasn't even moving, and you somehow missed twice? Okay then. But right here, there was a wide open space at the end. Again, stick to the top or bottoms, because going straight through the middle will oftentimes result in death. And death is slow, in most cases. Right here, we get introduced to another In the Dark section in 2-4, or 3-4. This In the Dark section is very special because there's a specific enemy in here that actually does not react faster when you are in the dark. It is those machine gun enemies that we got introduced to earlier that I forgot to mention. And I wanted to wait until this section right here. That enemy that I just pushed into a wall is one of them. They will just spray and pray bullets. They will rapid fire bullets in your general direction until it kills you. However, the developers decided to not make them have faster reaction times. I do not know if this is an oversight or if it is a purposeful decision. I choose to believe it is a purposeful decision, primarily because if an enemy like that were to have fast reaction times, it would shoot you like 3 times before you even have the chance to push it into a wall and try and kill it. Even though there is a small tiny bit of iframes between the time you get shot and the time you get shot, and the next time you get shot, it's not very quick, or it's not very slow. It's pretty quick. Oh dear, did I already get shot twice? No, I got shot once. Okay. Right here in album 3-5, we get introduced to another wide open space. We're gonna go outside of this military base, where we get introduced to another kind of enemy, the flamethrower guys. The flamethrower guys actually do not have any meaningful interaction with you unless you wanted to have, because they're just incredibly slow, and the range of their fire is just so short that as long as you're not literally within breathing distance of their faces, you're gonna be fine. Like, there's no reason for them to be any kind of threat whatsoever. However, in specific cases, they can help you. If you really trust yourself, when you push them into a wall, they will explode and create a bundle of fire, or you can just walk to the fire that they create from their flamethrowers, and when you're on fire, any enemy that you interact with will actually just run away from you. So this large group of enemies that I'm encountering right now, if I was on fire, they would all just run away. They wouldn't try and shoot me at all. And so if you really trust yourself to not get hit for the rest of the level, you can actually just get hit by fire, and so the enemies will just have a clean path for you forward. So there's not much to say between 3-6 and 3-7. other than there's the large area filled with oil that you're gonna see, that if it catches on fire, the entire area will catch on fire. So we gotta make sure we get away from that. It's coming up in a bit. But 3.6 and 3.7 are kind of the same level. And so InstaSim, if there's anything you want to say, you can say really quickly.
Nothing in particular. Oh, hold on, my MacBook's low on battery, so I'll have to plug that in a minute. But we are £45 away from seeing the Bleed to Endless Normal show hitboxes incentive. So if anybody wants to see that, make sure that we reach that incentive. It's the next run, so that definitely needs to have its. That needs to have the donations in fairly quickly. We're about £10. We're only £10 away as well from £100. So again, let's try and get there before the tea break, which will be happening, I think, in about 20 minutes or so. So be sure to get those donations in.
All right. Thank you, InstaSim. Right here in 3.8, this is the last level of Album 3, we get introduced to bombs. Bombs are not nice. They will kind of just drop in your general area right in front of you at random intervals, like so. And so if you push an enemy into a bomb, it will explode. If you touch a bomb, it will explode. If an enemy shoots a bomb, it will explode. And worse off, if a flamethrower guy also hits a bomb, it will explode. And so all of that will kill you in one hit. You have to restart the entire level from 3.8. However, thankfully we didn't get hit by any of the bombs. And this is the last level. The last level of this game. The last album, I should say. Right here is Album 4. So each level had a different theme. A laboratory, a high-rise, a military base. And now we're in this kind of Madagascar situation. You know, we've all had that moment where we get shot in the butt with a tranquilizer dart and suddenly we're on a boat. You know, that relatable feeling we all have. But on this boat, we get nice new mechanics that we're getting introduced to. And one of those mechanics is the containers. Right here, if we just go into a container, we get cover. And whenever you throw open the doors on the other side of a container, if there's another enemy on the other side of it, they will just die immediately, which is absolutely amazing. However, now is probably a good time to say that whenever you push an enemy or whenever you push one of these doors open, your momentum will slow down ever so slightly. And so using the... Oh, thank you for having horrible aim. My goodness. Using the containers is a really good strat if you want to play it safe sometimes. However, overall, it is a small time loss because you will just lose momentum every time you push one of these doors open. And right here, we get introduced to another In the Dark sequence. However, it is quite different from the other In the Dark sequences in the sense that the enemies no longer have flashlights, and the lights will go out at random intervals. However, there's a good side and a bad side to this. The good side is that the enemies don't see you, so they can't shoot at you. However, the downside is that since the enemies can't see you, they'll just start shooting in random directions. And so the direction that they shoot in could be at you, it could be at another enemy, or it could be at an enemy, a bomb guy. If a bomb guy explodes from a shot of another enemy and you're right next to it, boom, you're dead. And so you're gonna have to restart the entire level all over again. However, luckily we got past that level. And right here is my least favorite level of the game. It used to be a level that I was pretty indifferent about until I was on 25-minute pace. And then this level just kind of I died in this level. Excuse me. I'm gonna be very careful, especially since we're gonna introduce to a lot more enemies here. Specifically the Melvins. The Melvins are gonna be coming in packs, and which was an interesting design choice. They were like, let's give the most annoying enemy in this game, and we're gonna bring it in packs for the player to deal with. A very interesting design choice for sure. However, it does make it for a very difficult experience, and so which is the point. However, it seems as though we're having pretty good luck with some of the enemy interactions here. But yeah, combine the enemies in packs and the most annoying enemy in the game with the close quarters of that, which is no quarters, that's the name of that level. It will it's a very difficult kind of level to deal with sometimes, but luckily we didn't really get that kind of problem. However, right here we are going to get introduced to the biggest glitch in this game, which right after those enemies show up on the other side, you restart level, and suddenly you're invincible. Not even kidding. I'm not bleeding. These enemies can shoot me all they want. Like, I'm just not bleeding. I've gotten hit multiple times. But the reason that works, and this is explained in a video that this speedrun was featured on, IGN's Devs React to Speedruns. That was Bowden's world record at the time that was featured, and the devs did explain why that specific glitch works. It is because there is an explosion at the very beginning of that level, and instead of making it a special explosion that doesn't kill you, the developers just decided to give the player 99 health during that section, and then when the cutscene ends, give them back 3 health. However, if you restart level during that 99 health phase, you actually maintain the 99 health for the next 3 levels until the last level where a transition will happen and your health will reload back to 3. And we also get introduced to another wonderful enemy in this game called the bazooka, or the missile launchers. The missile launchers will shoot, as the name implies, will launch missiles. And these missiles do 10 damage, as does any explosion in this game. That is very important, why I mentioned that it does 10 damage. For whatever reason, the explosions in this game are not insta-kills, they just do 10 damage. And so, you do have 99 health. I did say you were invisible, but I'm going to be honest, I kind of lied. I have died here before by just being reckless and not caring about how many times I get hit, especially by the missile launcher guys, since they do 10 damage each. You want to be very careful still, because you can die here. It's very rare that you do, but it is possible. Bad RNG here, or at the very least I'm reading it pretty poorly. A lot of the times this section has a very nice up and down kind of pattern. However, the optimist in me likes to just go straight through sometimes, because sometimes the game does give you good RNG there and you can just go straight through. Anyway, this is the last level of the game. It is 4-7 outro, and we are in a zoo. We introduced to 2 new mechanics in this game. First off, we introduced to a new enemy called the Tranquilizer guys. They don't do any damage, but they will slow you down and kind of impair your vision. I kind of want to show off what it looks like to get shot by them, so I'm just going to not let this one shoot me. It looks like that. There you go. So, wonderful music, wonderful visuals, and yeah. But they don't do any damage. Like, I can still get hit 3 times. We're fine. And I got shot by them again. Look at that. Okay. And the second mechanic that we introduced to here is freeing the animals. If you free an animal, the enemies will actually start to target those animals as well. And the animals will also start to target the enemies. And so those animals will just start killing enemies for you. The music in the game, as you can see, is tracking not only your actions, but the actions of the other enemies and the other animals as well. And so, yeah, that's very interesting how the music reacts. But anyway, that's the end of the level. The timing will end when the piano kicks in and Ape Out appears on screen. So in 3, 2, 1, go. That's time. Alright. That was Ape Out Warpless. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my runs here. Thank you so much to InstaSim for accepting me at InstaSpeedathon for a second time. You've accepted all my runs at this point. I'm gonna have to find some stuff, and I'm gonna have to learn some new runs for next InstaSpeedathon. I really enjoy being here. It's a nice experience, and I hope you guys enjoyed this game. A wonderful outro song. You Gotta Have Freedom by Pharoah Sanders. It's absolutely an amazing song, especially if you PB. It's just this euphoric feeling. However, what did I get on my final time? If you don't mind me asking, InstaSim.
28 minutes 33 seconds.
28 minutes 33 seconds. That's pretty good. That is pretty good.
Very good. Well done.
That's pretty nice.
Very good. Right then. So we're gonna go over to the Bleed 2 run in a minute. We are now at £90 raised for the event, for the marathon, which is absolutely incredible. We have not yet reached the show hitbox target for the Bleed 2 Endless Normal. run. I think that might actually be. Yeah, that's pretty much just finishing now. So we have not reached that target, unfortunately. However, we're very close to reaching a couple of other targets. We're close to reaching the perfect run for Super Mario Galaxy 2, which only needs £15 more. And Glitch Showcase or Exhibition has £20. That needs £30 to be met as well. We only need £10 to reach the £100 goal before the tea break. So if we can get to the £100 in the next 15 minutes or so, that would be absolutely incredible. Yes. So yeah, anyway, we're going to go over to Bleed 2 now, but if you have very short something to say, because we are running quite behind schedule, then you can say
I just wanted to say something really short. Again, thank you so much to InstaSim for accepting me a second time. I'm really excited about these events. You created a really good community here, and I'm excited to be back for future events as well. And one thing that I want to say is, it might be bad etiquette to mention another marathon here, but get your GDQ submissions in, even if you don't think you're good enough or you're not going to make it or whatever. Get them in. The worst they can say is no, and so I just want to mention that because that's on a lot of people's minds right now. If you're thinking about submitting, submit, do it, and I'm pretty sure anyone in here can advocate for that same fact. But that's all I want. Yeah, right. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, when it comes to any speedrun marathon, if you don't submit, that's a surefire way of being declined.
Yeah, exactly.
So you never know when it comes to marathons whether you'll get accepted or not. So it doesn't matter what marathon it is, GDQ, InstaSpeedathon, ESA, make sure to get your submissions in, because that's the only way you can at least have a chance of being in. Because if you don't submit, then you're not going to get in.
Yeah. So if you're thinking of submitting, do it. Just, you have nothing to lose. But yeah,
right.
That's all for me. Thank you so much.
Yep. Well, thank you very much for taking part again in InstaSpeedathon. We'll hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be back soon. Thank you so much.